team in points and assists. 29 points against Notre Dame, 24 points against Creighton. There's no doubt they need him to be special to get a win against the Jayhawks.
Garrison and Dickinson jump it up. Kansas wins the chip, and we are underway here in Stillwater. Adams feeds inside. Talked about Dickinson and McCullough, the top two scorers in the league. Garrison, a really good shot blocker, and Dickinson puts it in. And motions to the crowd, let me hear it.
Great defense, better offense. I mean, Garrison did everything to keep him off the block. Just couldn't stop that shot over the right shoulder.
McCullough collects, Kansas on the move, and Murphy throws it down. He is good in transition, and Bill Self wants him to continue to be more aggressive.
Well, the size, the length, the athleticism of Kansas, and being able to push the ball in transition. What a kick ahead by McCullough.
There's the former Jayhawk Bryce Thompson, began his career in Lawrence. Garrison hands off. And Harris collects the loose ball. Adams waiting. And then the feed inside, and Murphy puts it in with the left hand. Timeout, Mike Boynton at Oklahoma State. 6-0 Kansas to get it going. A 30-second timeout. Back after this.
With more rugged capability, you can take on any road, even the ones that aren't roads. Kia, movement that inspires.
I'm here courtside. Watch this.
You have got to watch this replay, folks.
Watch this, watch that.
Watch me. Do this. The competition's never been better.
I would never let a woman do that.
The stars have never been brighter.
Hayden Tour, 3,000 career points.
Come on, Cameron Brink.
Deja Kelly.
Oh, that was pretty.
Amor magic. Some brewing tonight. There's no stopping us now. This is just spectacular. That's our move. Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC.
Major.com.
Back in Stillwater, and the freshman Johnny Murphy in the lineup for the second straight game, and off to a good start.
Well, off the defensive rebound right here, and look at Kevin McCullough, just head up the whole time. And Murphy with the jam in transition. It's the vision. And by the way, he adds a shooting dimension to this team, which is needed for a team that shoots 32% from the three-point line, and that's what Bill Self wants him to do. Wants him to play faster and kick the ball ahead, those hockey assists.
He's won 2 national titles, Bill Self, 21st season at Kansas, and of course, a former Cowboy.
Only 2? Yeah. Only 2 chips? Best coach in America. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he is special. And this Kansas team at number 3 in the country. Daly swings Thompson.
Kansas doing a really good job of communicating on defense and switching off a lot of ball screens.
Ball steps back and gets the Cowboys on the board. Mentioned Javon Small, the East Carolina transfer, hails from South Bend, Indiana. Harris. It's a Kansas team that there's one area offensively they're a bit challenged. That's shooting the 3. They're not great at it. Shot clock winding down. Dickinson a 3. And that's off the mark.
Well, Kansas has a hard time creating off the dribble. They're a systematic style team. And if you keep them contained and contested, that's a great defensive possession for the boys.
Garrison banging down low, fade away, and it won't fall. Murphy fights for the rebound and pulls it away.
But I don't like the fade away. Obviously, UCF got him in foul trouble, as you see the goaltending here on the defensive end. But UCF got Hunter Dickinson in foul trouble by being aggressive and attacking him. Utilize ball fakes, crack into him, try to get some fouls on him early in this game.
Kansas coming off a win at home against a top 10 opponent in Oklahoma, but the game before that on the road, they had a 16-point advantage against UCF and lost.
Well, when you have 18 turnovers against UCF and you also have 18 turnovers against TCU, they responded with the win at home with a record in 2 turnovers for the Jayhawks in that win.
Ball looking for space, feed inside, out of bounds. That one off the hands of Keon Williams. Eight-2 Jayhawks here in the early going. Gallagher-Iba Arena, John Shambi, Jay Williams, Chris Budden. Thanks for joining us here on Super Tuesday. And Kansas turns it over.
Talk a lot about KU taking care of the ball, being accurate, being intentional, and being sharp. Those small turnovers accumulate over time, and that allows your opponent to stay in the ball game.
Small, off one leg, and a step back wouldn't go. McCullough pushing ahead. Adams. And here is Harris, one of the best point guards in all of college basketball. Good look, and then McCullough overshot it.
Devon Harris is so good just probing with the basketball. Obviously, McCullough missed a chippy there, but him keeping his dribble alive and keeping his head on a swivel to see the court. He's also been working a lot on that mid-range floater shot, and they want him to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. Took 10 shots in their last game, and that's the kind of style of play you want Harris to have.
John Michael Wright in the game here for the Cowboys is Small almost picked up his pivot foot. Garrison, left hand, goes it home. Brandon Garrison, big-time recruit, number 42 in the ESPN 100.
First McDonald's All-American since Cade Cunningham here.
Now one of 3 freshmen receiving impact minutes for Mike Boynton. McCullough flips to Harris. Back to McCullough. Inside off the glass and good.
And when they clear out that side, they get that little pick and roll. McCullough's done it multiple times thus far and just rolled, and nobody's came over from the weak side to help. Well, Kansas doing a great job defensively.
Daly. And was at home, Eric Daly. Along with Garrison and Keller, the 3 freshmen seeing significant playing time. Dickinson on the baseline, soft touch. The Michigan transfer, he has been, as advertised, probably the most sought-after player in the transfer portal. Turnover, and Kansas basketball. Jayhawks on the road, off to a 12-6 advantage. It's been chaos so far in the Big 12. More on that when we come back. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
Neither snow-capped mountains nor puddles of water, nor unexpected detours with a 20-foot drainage pipe can stop the ruggedly capable Telluride X Pro from getting you to your dinner reservation on time.
Okay.
Kia, movement that inspires.
The competition's never been better.
I would never let a woman do that.
The stars have never been brighter.
Hayden Tour, 3,000 career points. Come on, Cameron Brink. Deja Kelly.
Oh, that was pretty.
Amor magic. Some brewing tonight. There's no stopping us now.
This is just spectacular.
That's our move. Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC.
Upside down in the world of college basketball last week, and certainly that was the case in the Big 12 as we saw multiple ranked teams knocked off by unranked teams. In fact, last week, 14 unranked teams knocked off ranked teams across college basketball, and you saw it in the Big 12 with Iowa State and TCU knocking off Houston, and now TCU into the rankings. So UCF knocking off Kansas. Harris not able to hit. Dickinson the rebound.
TCU getting back-to-back wins against Oklahoma and Houston. What a huge run for the home frogs and James Dixon.
McCullough knocks down the three. You mentioned Kansas doesn't shoot a ton of threes. They shoot in the neighborhood of about 36%. Loose ball. Garrison collects, puts it up. And the tip will go. And that one from Keon Williams. No, wave it off.
Yeah, that's the right call. The ball's on the cylinder. Can't touch it unless it was completely off the cylinder. Yeah, ball still unfortunately was on the cylinder even though it's coming off. But Kansas doing a good job of running Oklahoma State off the three-point line, and games that they win, they are making 12 threes as opposed to games that they lose, they're making only 6.
Mike Boynton defense has been their anchor. In fact, the last 3 years, they've been a top 20 Ken Palm defensive team. Not quite as good this year. He was hoping for better offense.
The key to the offense is to get the ball moving, hit the post, turn, cut, move without the ball, play inside out. And it can definitely do that with the likes of Brandon Garrison with the way he's playing.
High arcing shot, wouldn't go for Garrison. McCullough ends up with it. Adams hit the deck for Kansas. Feed inside, and Dickinson is fouled down low, and they get that one on Garrison. That is his first.
Yeah, Brandon Garrison just getting stuck, not even seeing ball man, playing with his back towards the ball. And you know, defensively, you got to get down there and front the position in the post if that's what you decide to do. Or push him off the block. Just poor positioning by the young player.
Garrison will grab a seat, and the redshirt senior Mike Marsh will check in. Loose ball to take away. Cowboys the other way. Thompson up ahead. Murphy blocks it. Kick up ahead. McCullough. Harris. And it's good. Kansas in transition doing the job, and they lead at 17-8. Small hesitates. Puts it underneath and finds Mike Marsh for 2.
You know, if Kansas is going to be up on the three-point line, that little hesitation where your eyes look at the rim off a hezzy move allow you to get into those gaps, and Hunter Dickinson is forced to help. They're going to find somebody on that lower block.
KJ Adams knocks down the shot.
Nobody's moving KJ Adams off the block. I tell you, his legs, he has Saquon Barkley thighs.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Every day is leg day. KJ Adams, the most improved player of the Big 12 last year. That one out of bounds, and it'll be Kansas basketball. Under 12 timeout, it is Kansas on the road, and the Jayhawks by 9.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
It is for our Economy Ultimate passengers.
With more rugged capability, you can take on any road, even the ones that aren't roads. Kia, movement that inspires.
NBA Wednesday on ABC.
Adding up
shooting threes and I slam on them.
A new night every Wednesday in January. The league's biggest teams, the game's brightest stars.
We hold the rock, I got 2 hands on it. Half court, we shooting shots like we wide open.
NBA Wednesday on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
The competition's never been better.
This is just spectacular.
The stars have never been brighter. That's our move. Women's College Hoops on ESPN and ABC.
Welcome back. Kansas Johnny Furphy hadn't seen his family since August. I mean, it is a 20-hour plane ride back to Melbourne. But his brother Joe did come to visit last week. Joe is a professional Australian football. They got to do a jersey swap after the TCU game at Fog Allen Fieldhouse. A huge family of athletes. Joe plays Australian football. Sister plays soccer at Santa Clara. Dad also played football. Mom was a diver on the national level. And Mom and Dad coming stateside next Monday to see him play.
Yeah, Furphy, a guy who burst on the scene. Dickinson knocks down the shot. Bill Self thinks Johnny Furphy's one of the guys that could be a three-point weapon. Likes the way he shoots the ball, likes the way it comes out of his hand.
Can absolutely knock it down. Also 6'9". You saw that block he had on the defensive end, utilizing his size and athleticism, and that's going to be the key for Kansas, finding that 5th player and getting some depth off the bench to them winning a national championship.
Good job by Hicklen getting back to intercept the outlet.
What a rebound. That's a man's rebound right there.
Got him on the block again. Ripping it down as they feed Dickinson. Good cut. Adams a throwdown.
Boog, if the bigs for Oklahoma State don't meet Dickinson early, he's going to get post position. If you're going to run a double team at him, you have to be aggressive. You can't be lackadaisical because KJ Adams just dives down from the top of the key.
Here's Thompson. They need him to get going. And a foul. DeJuan Harris.
And look, you're going to see Dickinson here on the block. He's catching the block. He sees where the double team is coming from. You can't be hesitant. If you're going to go, you have to go and go with swiftness. He turns, faces, and finds KJ Adams for the slam. What great vision, man. There's a reason why he is the only player in the Big 12 right now to average a double-double, but also has the vision to see out of double teams. See what I did there with double multiple times?
Oh, I'm with you.
Okay.
Now Marco Jackson is checked into the game, and DeJuan Harris will get a much-needed rest. I say that he played every minute of their game against Oklahoma. McCullough pulls down the rebound. And now it's in the hands of Furphy. Point Kansas advantage. A reminder, tomorrow night, number 8 Kentucky hosting Mississippi State. 7 Eastern on ESPN2 at Rupp. And the primetime West Coast game has number 12 Arizona hosting USC. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on ESPN.
Oh, Kentucky losing that tough one to Texas A&M, and Wade Taylor going for 31 points. What a big-time player and a big-time win for the Aggies.
McCullough with 9 points and an 8-0 Kansas run. Thompson inside off the glass and gets it to go.
You think Thompson has something to play with, considering he started his career at Kansas? I love that type of energy. I like when you go against your old opponent and you have something to prove. He had 40 points combined in the 2 matchups against KU last year.
Dickinson double team.
That's a double team, dude.
Furphy on the open feed as he got it from Jackson. So Kansas off to a fast start offensively. Marsh going to work. Kick out Thompson with Furphy on him. And Thompson, after being harassed Thompson's able to put it in. Mike Boynton wanted a foul.
Yeah, big shot by Thompson, but they're forcing Oklahoma State to be a tough two-point shooting team. And 35% of the shots that Oklahoma State makes are from the three-point line, with only 2 attempts thus far in this game. They're taking them out of their game.
Great rebound, Furphy. And then McCullough finds him for a three. And it is all Kansas. A 17-point advantage. And the Jayhawks on a 14-4 run here in Stillwater. And the number 3 team having their way early.
Kansas up 31-14 with 8:34 left to go in the first half. And Johnny Furphy, look, a little drive there by Jackson. Drift weak side, knocks down the three. He is that three-point threat that Bill Self and his team needs. The kick back up, McCullough swings it right back. The relocation three. When he's able to add that element to this offense, it opens up lanes for guys like Jackson and Harris and McCullough to drive and get to the rim. And it opens up the floor offensively.
Didn't just play Australian rules football, but also cricket in high school. Ooh. Thompson handling here. Parker Brown has checked into the game for the Jayhawks. The younger brother of Christian Brown, of course, helped them win a national title a couple of seasons ago. Grad transfer, 6th year of college.
Adam on the flare.
Shot clock under 10. Thompson. Step back. That's a three. And Harris able to pull it down. Jackson here, a little hesitation. The freshman gets a piece of the paint. Got whacked across the face, no foul called. And now Thompson will try a three. And Adams rips away the rebound. Furphy, left hand wouldn't fall. And Johnny Furphy will go to the line when we return. Kansas by 17.
Neither snow-capped mountains nor puddles of water, nor unexpected detours with a 20-foot drainage pipe can stop the ruggedly capable Telluride X Pro from getting you to your dinner reservation on time.
Okay.
Kia, movement that inspires.
NBA Wednesday on ABC.
Added up shooting threes and I slam on them.
A new night every Wednesday in January. The league's biggest teams, the game's brightest stars.
We hold the rock, I got 2 hands on it. Half court, we shooting shots like we wide open. Woo!
NBA Wednesday on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Change.
Back here in Stillwater, we talked about Johnny Furphy getting a chance to start, and he's doing it inside and outside.
Yeah, just being active, moving without the rock, gets an easy layup. You saw the drift there to the weak side, knocks down the three, 2 of 2 from the three-point line, 10 points so far in the first half, and then the relocation three. You know, talking to Bill Self earlier today, he said that Johnny Furphy reminds him a lot of Mike Dunleavy Jr., who is now the Golden State Warriors general manager, but getting a chance to play with a guy like Dunleavy for his size at 6'9", 6'10", extremely skilled, had dexterity, could finish at the rim with both hands, and also had the ability to space the floor with a high basketball IQ.
You know, you were telling us earlier, and I had forgotten this part. How tall was Mike Dunleavy Jr. when he entered college?
6'4.5".
Wow.
Left college 6'11". Talk about a growth spur, right?
Yeah. Furphy at 6'9". He'll grab a seat. Furphy, his career high is 15 points. Obviously, the season high. He's got a dozen already in this one. It's all Kansas here in Stillwater from historic Gallagher-Iba Arena. John Chambee, Jay Williams, and Chris Budden. And that three will go from Jarius Hicklen.
Hicklen, a big-time three-pointer. You know, coming off that loss at Hilton Coliseum, where they play exceptional basketball there, and we'll talk about some of the travel issues that Oklahoma State had in order to get there in this ball game. But it seems like the energy level for the Cowboys are low, and they need to pick up the intensity on the defensive end with deflections and getting some easy transition points to see the ball go in.
How about Adams bullying his way inside, tipped it home. Mike Boynton wanted over the back.
And just Kansas taking the punch, taking the fight right to the Cowboys. They have to match that intensity.
Ball hesitating, going to work on the freshman. Now Garrison on Brown. Bullies his way in. Offensive foul. Let's send it over to Chris Budden. More on the Oklahoma State travel issues this past weekend.
Yeah, Jay mentioned it's hard for anyone right now with all this weather sweeping across the nation, let alone trying to get to Ames. Their flight Friday night canceled because of weather up north. Saturday, they left Stillwater 6:30 in the morning to fly out of Oklahoma City. They didn't arrive in Ames until 4:30. Played a game that night. By the way, at halftime, they were told, KJ with the gym, they were told that they were not going to be able to leave until the next day. The next day, 5 p.m., it wasn't until their flight took off, got back to Stillwater late on Sunday night. A very tough travel day in the middle of all this winter weather.
Well, Chris, I'm just tired from hearing that breakdown.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let alone the travel. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this, Boog. I really think the league in the Big 12 missed the call here, because I don't think Oklahoma State should have played in that game. You know, as a former player, everything about my game day routine is on schedule. And I get that sometimes life can throw you a curveball. I understand that. But to be stagnant at an airport all day long, then to take an hour bus ride to get to your location, to turn around and play a game within 2 hours of that time frame, you're going to be gassed. You're not going to have that type of energy and level of competition that you need to bring, and that's a competitive advantage for Iowa State.
Mike Boynton, they asked him if, did his team start to feel sorry for themselves a little bit. He said he felt in the second half at Hilton Coliseum in Ames that took place a little bit. He said it was something they addressed on Sunday, and that's that. Adams inside, scoops it in as he absorbed the contact. Bill Self clapping, he loves it. And Kansas with a 20-point advantage, closing on 5 to go here in the first half. And 3 will go for Keon Williams. Adams couldn't corral the lob. Now a loose ball.
Good ball. Possession arrow to the Cowboys.
Well, Boog, you were talking about KJ Adams absorbing the contact. No, he initiated the contact here. Look at the left hand on the drive. He jumps into Garrison, and that's the way you're taught to finish for and ones at the rim. If you jump into the defender, all of a sudden you take their reach away, and he's able to finish outside with that right hand. The body control and the strength is something to his advantage.
Talk about a guy that really improved his offensive game last year. And that 3 is blocked, but a foul called on Harris. And that will be Harris's first, actually his second, and Connor Dow will go to the line and shoot 3.
Harris got caught up on that little down action, miscommunication, allowed Dow to get open, and that follow through, you hit the hand. It's going to be a foul. Dow, a freshman from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I mean, talk about a three-point shooter from Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
You couldn't have better alignment, Brooke.
32, Mike Mars back into the post.
I know that area's produced a number of good baseball players. Brad Penny, I think Warren Spahn was from roughly that area.
You are a book of knowledge, my friend.
I run into it every once in a while. Timberlake, the kick out as they swing it. Now Dickinson.
Cowboys go from that 2-3 zone into a man-to-man. They change up their defenses a ton within the same possession.
Quick release.
He is good. You know, most bigs, Boog, they drop the ball, they bring it down. He just keeps that thing high, and that's what makes for the quick release.
Yeah, it is fast and very efficient.
A great read there by Dow. They tried to shoot the gap. He flared it. That's a big-time read for a freshman.
Murphy will try. And hit. He gets another. His third three-pointer of the game, and he's matched a season and career high with 15 points. And Williams threw it away.
Well, if you tuned in to see a National Player of the Year candidate, look no further. Hunton Dickinson is that guy. Look at him, keep that thing high. Quick release. Jayhawks up big time.
The Jeep halftime report is on the way. Coming up, wait till you see what Dalton Connect did tonight for Tennessee. Plus the finish, you got to see to believe in Cincinnati. Coach, we are witnessing the Johnny Furphy game right now.
You know, the narrative all season long has been, what about 5 through 8 for this Kansas team? I'll tell you one thing, Johnny Furphy, he went all Dalton Connect. The dude is 5 for 5, 3 for 3 from the 3. If they can get consistent scoring out of 4 or 5, it opens up the floor, makes the game easier for everyone.
It's really easy to fall in love with the offensive numbers you see from Kansas right now. They're shooting better than 70% from the floor. I love what they're doing on the defensive end. They've been disruptive. They've forced turnovers. They've scored off those turnovers. This Kansas team that can be really good. National championship, good.
Dalton Connect, Furphy, 2 to say. Jay Will. He's having a Jay Will type day.
Well, I am not going to say Johnny Furphy is Dalton Connect yet. Not yet. Not yet. Dalton Connect is a different breed.
Off the window, but it wouldn't fall for Dickinson, and the Cowboys a chance to chip away at the deficit. Furphy, the block, kick up ahead. Timberlake! Oh!
Wow! Oh! What just happened?
I mean,
what just happened?
Right into your living room.
Oh my goodness. This whole place is dead quiet.
Yeah. Thompson step back, rattles off. Dickinson, loose ball. Marsh collects.
Yeah, the refs are doing this for us so I can see that Timberlake dunk, because that's what I needed to see. I mean,
the Towson transfer. Check it out.
Furphy with the block, and he sees the defender coming from the left side. He sees it. And this is where he sees it and meets it. Oh. Whew. That's big time, man.
With authority.
I mean, the addition they got with Timberlake, what they've got from Johnny Furphy, knocking down threes from the outside. Seth Greenberg with comparisons to Dalton Connect. Yes, I will always say Seth Greenberg on that comparison from here on out. So Furphy continues to prove it. We haven't been talking a lot about Kevin McCullough. We haven't been talking a lot about DeJuan Harris. It's other players have been stepping up, and that's the added depth that the Jayhawks need.
But one of the things Bill Self's talked about, and the coverage of the Jayhawks, do they have enough depth? And I think the answer at the moment is not sure, but that can change.
I mean, define depth, though. I mean, teams that win championships, you can be 7 or 8 deep. You don't need to be Auburn basketball and play 12, but
Johnson draws the foul. And that one is on Timberlake. And Thompson will shoot 2. Bryce Thompson averaging 13 points a game. Rattles that one off. Tomorrow night, the Bucks take on the Cavs. That'll come your way at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. And then the Lakers host the Mavericks, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on ABC. It's NBA Countdown tipping off tonight at 7 Eastern on ESPN.
You catch that game winner by Dame time the other day?
I did.
Big time shot, right?
Big time shot, and it was like he was playing around cones to me. You know what I mean? Like it was almost as if that's something that they were just doing 5-on-0 in practice. Adams knocks that one down.
I mean, the talent level that the Bucks have is pretty incredible. Going to get a chance to see the Celtics play tomorrow night with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown going against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. But looking like between the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks, it's going to be one heck of a tournament.
Foul on the shot. Foul will be on number 100, Dickinson.
Foul on Dickinson. And Daly will go to the line. Hunter Dickinson picking up his first. 1:08 to go here first half. This has been all Kansas. Been about the Kansas offense. 48 first half points for the Jayhawks.
And so far, Oklahoma has only made 2 3-pointers per game. You heard Sean Farnham before the game started talk about in wins, Oklahoma State averages 12 made threes per game. So Kansas running them off the 3-point line, and also Kansas taking care of the basketball thus far. Only 4 turnovers thus in the first half.
Kansas coming off that win against Oklahoma. They set a program record, just 2 turnovers after they had coughed it up 35 times in their previous 2 games. So think about that. I mean, you're going up against a top 10 team, you turn it over twice.
I mean, against Oklahoma. I mean, but by the way, I mean, do you think that point was taken considering versus TCU and UCF, they had 18 turnovers per game? You know, those are self-inflicted wounds. And as Bill Self told us earlier today in shoot-around, you know, this team, as much as Timberlake may disagree with lacking athleticism, they have to be technically sound in order for this team to achieve the highest level of success. And that starts with taking care of the rock.
Timeout, Kansas. Bill Self's group leading it by 18. John Chompy, Jay Williams, Chris Budden. Kansas up to a 2-1 start in conference. Cowboys, meanwhile, 0-3, looking for their first conference win. We documented Oklahoma State struggling with their travel issues this past weekend, suffering a loss after a long travel delay. And a reminder, you can bid on a chance to watch the Sweet 16 with Dick Vitale. Purchase a ticket by visiting v.org/super16. And it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Dick Vitale will host you and one guest at his home in Bradenton. And that'll be on Thursday, March 28th in 2024. And yeah, Dickie V's watching us. Dickie V send you love. He's in Boston, got some tests tomorrow. But, man, how about that? A chance to watch the Sweet 16 with Dick Vitale at his crib.
I mean, that's tremendous. I mean, every time I talk to Dick, he's always passionate and animated about the game of basketball. And from somebody who had a lot of his games called by Mr. Vitale, there is nobody better in our industry to promote the game that we love and also the fight against cancer. Oklahoma State in this zone, we're going to see them go man-to-man if the ball gets into the middle of the gap.
Shot clock winding down. Harris looking for some space. Good hands there. That one tipped. Eventually Adams collects it, and that'll end up being a turnover And it'll be Oklahoma State basketball.
And surprised seeing Kansas just not as sharp coming out of that timeout with how to execute against that zone. But really active hands there by the Cowboys, and that's what you want when you play a zone. Cover ground, communication, and active hands.
Thompson catch, shoot, and drills it. And they needed that. A good end of the first half as Bryce Thompson, the former Jayhawk. Kansas from the floor, including 24 points in the paint. And a two-headed monster of Dickinson and McCullough combining for 17. Harris with the basketball. Kansas with possession. Adams had a solid first half. Harris here.
We talked about KU's depth. 46 points from the starters, 2 points from the bench in the first half.
McCullough taking it to the rim and scooping it home, and Kansas back up by 17.
We've been talking so much about the play of Furphy and KJ Adams. You forget that McCullough, a guy whose game has expanded in so many different ways offensively, is even on the floor. And he does things like that, the blow-by speed off the change of speed.
McCullough draws the foul. He'll go to the line and shoot two. Well, how about Kevin McCullough? Started his career at Texas Tech. Yeah, the short-haired Kevin McCullough. And three-point field goal percentage improved. A guy who has always been able to dish, but this year the scoring is up. Really everything is up. And he is a type of player that impacts the game in multiple ways.
Leads the team in points, leads the team in assists, steals per game, shooting 84.3% from the free throw line, is able to knock it down. And also, he's not a liability on the defensive end. He's a guy that can guard and uses his size and quickness to lock down defenders as well.
One of the areas he's grown as well has been in the vocal leadership aspect. When you had guys like Ochai Agbaji and Jalen Wilson before, they were the guys that could step up, and knowing that he was the veteran coming back, they would need him on the offensive end, but they also needed that leadership in him. Him and Bill Self had a conversation about it during the offseason, and he said, I knew that this was my time. There was a lot I wanted to prove on to be able to get to the NBA, and it started first with becoming a leader on this team.
You know, Chris, you're so right about this. And look, the first thing I look for as a player is, do you have dog in you? You know, and Kansas has some dogs. I mean, with the way DeJuan Harris plays, McCullough plays, Hunter Dickinson at times gets very flamboyant with how he interacts with the crowd. But you have to have that competitive edge to be one of the best teams in America.
The lob at the other end for Adams failed. He was able to sprint back and contest. Dickinson the rebound, and now Adams has it. Harris, their short-handed point guard. As they move the ball, Furphy another three. And that one's short. Dickinson the offensive rebound, and he's fouled.
Talk about the Cowboys playing with a sense of urgency. They have to find that pace. They ended the first half well with that made three by Thompson. But Javon Small did not get going. 1 of 5 from the field the first half for only 5 points. He's their team's leading scorer. He needs to find ways to get the ball to the rim, and they need to start knocking down some threes playing inside out. More turnovers than assists in the first half.
Got a foul on Bryce Thompson there. And that will be his second. Just getting started here in the second half. And it has been all Kansas. They lead by 19 with the ball. McCullough pull up. And that wouldn't go. Garrison rebounds. Thompson, good look inside. Garrison could not convert, but he will go to the line and shoot two, and they get the foul on KJ Adams.
Garrison has a lot of potential, man. He's wide. He makes himself available. Look at him. He gives a target right there for Thompson to find him. And And for a guy who's a McDonald's All-American, you could tell there's a poise he has when he's able to catch the ball on the block. And he also has a good-looking shot. He's not afraid to take that little midi.
At the defensive end, averaging almost 2 blocks a game. We've been quiet the last couple of games with only 5 points total. Adams gets it into Dickinson, and a foul inside. Dickinson got good post position. And Garrison charged with a foul. That'll be his 3rd.
Well, if you hear me chuckling, it's only because Garrison switched, and then he was guarding K.J. Adams in a high-low post move. And K.J. Adams still decided to post Garrison up, even though he's second in the conference in block shots per game. But just being able to probe forces the defense to collapse and finds Dickinson over the top. Just the ability to make a play with K.J. Adams is what is such a benefit for KU.
Dickinson knocks down the second.
No touch our flag! Don't touch them like that!
53-35, 17-22 to go in the second half. Down to inbound. And gets it into Javon Small. Small has been pretty quiet. Trying to find Garrison. McCullough. Steps to his right. And that one off the mark. Garrison the rebound. And the left hand, the ball will go.
I love the trash talk in between Garrison and Dickinson. Both guys animated after moves. You're seeing Garrison right here off the miss. Fights for it, gets the offensive rebound, and then the spin move with the left hand. And he calls him small. Trust me, Hunter Dickinson is everything but small.
Yeah, you're not joking. 7'2", 260. Adams inside. The scoop wouldn't go. And it'll be Oklahoma State basketball. Cowboys down 16, looking to make a run.
Mike Boynton really trying to get his team to play with pace, a sense of urgency, pick and choose high quality shot selection. And this has always been who Mike has been as a player and a coach. Got a chance to play against him at Bishop Laughlin High School in Brooklyn. When I was in high school, we had some wars. He's one of the most competitive people I've ever met.
Dickinson drains that jumper. Yeah, same high school that produced Mark Jackson.
Hand down, man down. Miss you, MJ.
Mitchell Small's been quiet. He scored just 2 points. Good look inside. And gets it to Garrison. Garrison averaging 6 points and 6 rebounds. Making an impact on the offensive end here in this one. Furphy able to track down the loose ball after the deflection. Feed inside, deep post position. And that is too deep inside Dickinson.
Garrison just allows Dickinson to turn over that right shoulder every possession. Force him to turn over to the left and make a play. Hunter Dickinson just working for that low post position. He gets it. It's too late.
In Stillwater. All right, Jay Williams, take us inside the play.
Not letting the big off the screen. That's what you want here in relation to Hunter Dickinson. When you keep him engaged on the screen, you're going to see the PNR comes up right here. Now this little change of speed, typically that's when the defender gets back, but he keeps engaging Hunter Dickinson. KJ Adams leaves for the weak side drop off for the three, and it leaves Garrison wide open. Devon Smalls has to do more of that. And just because the player is coming over the top and he's recovering defensively, keep engaging the big and create that mismatch and force the defense to rotate.
18-point Kansas advantage.
Got him slipping.
Garrison in close, and then a foul's called.
That's such a good job by Dow right there, running so hard off that pin down, and then having the vision to see that Hunter Dickinson was forced to get out there and contest. And because of that, Garrison saw it, rolled, provided a target, and got a chance for an and one. I'm really impressed with his offensive game. I know that he has 28 blocks on the season. I know he's one of the top shot blockers that there is, ranked second in the Big 12 in blocks per game. But still offensively, he is agile, he has good feet. Missed 2 free throws there, but still has a good-looking shot. Kid has a ton of potential.
We mentioned at the outset, a big-time recruit, top 50 in the ESPN 100. Feed inside, and Adams, a two-handed flush.
Start calling him Incredible Hulk Adams. That's what you need to call him. He's just pushing people off the block left and right like a rag doll. You know, his upper body reminds me a lot of Ron Artest. You know, I'm talking more high school St. John's Ron Artest. You know, because Ron had the ability, or meta world peace, whatever you want to call it. He would just bulldoze through screens. Like, you know, he didn't have to get around you. He can get through you.
Yeah, Adams has the ability to do that without even trying. Small. Loose ball, McCullough able to pull it down, and now Furphy into the front court. Kansas on top here, leading it by 20. Dickinson gets into the paint, finds Adams, and puts it home.
And see, that should have been and one right there. But Adams is so strong that he's able to finish through the contact, and the refs don't even see anything yet, making him adjust.
Totally agree. 22-point advantage. Good hands by Furphy. Kicks to the corner. And Harris, good job, able to save it. All Kansas here at Gallagher-Iba. John Shambi, Jay Williams, Chris Budden. Big 12 action here in Stillwater. And the Jayhawks putting together an elite level offensive effort here tonight. Garrison able to save it off of Furphy, and it'll be Oklahoma State basketball.
You see the post pass here. They try to come with a double team, and that's where I thought there was a foul, but KJ Adams with the strength just goes up and look, he caught him right there on the right arm. Hit him on the right arm. He just powered through it. You said it's leg day every day. It's the weight room every day.
Marco Jackson into the game. Good hands. There's that 6'6" wingspan for Harris. McCullough. And the putback will go for Marco Jackson. DeJuan Harris. Talk about those long arms. He's 6'2", but the wingspan of a guy 6 feet 6 inches. And the defense showing right there. All Kansas here to go here in the second half, and it is all Kansas.
Yeah, these are the type of things that would drive me crazy. You're seeing a deflection, a turnover. I see 3 white jerseys back, 1 offensive rebound. I see the 4th jersey jogging back, 2 offensive rebounds. I still don't see the 5th. There we go. I finally saw the 5th Oklahoma State player get back. That's the kind of speed and transition defense and the sense of urgency that you do not need to get back in your 4th conference game against a top 10 team when you're down 25. I've said it before, like I'm a passionate competitor. There have been games where I've been down double digits. It's like it's a gut check where everybody needs to come together. And what are we playing for? And we still play with a sense of urgency. We may lose, but it's not going to be because of our effort.
No, right now, Cowboys down 24. There's 13 to go. This one has been all Kansas. Inside Marsh, overshot that one. Loose ball, Marsh again. Blocked by Dickinson, out of bounds. And it'll be Kansas basketball. Well, a reminder, more college basketball coming at you on Wednesday. Mississippi State and number 8 Kentucky, and in a late game it'll be USC and number 12 Arizona. That comes your way at 10 Eastern, and that's tomorrow night.
Really hurts for USC that Isaiah Collier, who has a chance to be a top pick in the NBA draft, is out for pretty much the rest of the year with a hand injury. And just has a great feel for the game, and it's a huge loss for Andy Anfield and the Trojans.
There are those hands
defense.
again.
Textbook defense.
Harris left hand, and he gets fouled.
And how about the way he stole the ball, Book? I mean, that is technically sound on how you deflect the pass. He didn't turn his whole body. He reached out with his right hand, extended it. You're going to see right here. See, that's how you do it right there. And that's how you deflect it with your right hand to keep your body volume man, and then you try to finish at the opposite end. I mean, he is such a bona fide leader for this team. Bill Self wants him to be a little bit more aggressive offensively, but that has a 2.68 to 1 assist to turnover ratio. One of the top players in the nation with assists per game. It just is a pure extension of Bill Self on the floor 24/7. Yeah, that's some kind of crazy stat, Book. In games he scored 10 and more, the Jayhawks are 26-1.
Man. Small, that's off the mark. Furphy flies in for the rebound. Toss up ahead. Harris finds Jackson and couldn't finish. Almost a gorgeous conversion for Kansas. And a lob and the throwdown as Williams puts it home. Dickinson, and he gets that to go. And he's got a nice soft touch. We saw him in a previous possession, by the way, going right hand on a spin move to the baseline.
If you're Mike Marsh, you got to get a hand up there. You got to contest him. You can knock down that mid-range, and that range extends the three-point line.
Thompson hoists and hits a three-pointer over DeJuan Harris. Jackson jumper, and that one a little strong. And they get the foul on Furphy.
Well, we talked about Oklahoma State playing with a little bit more of a sense of urgency. Love Bryce Thompson pushing the ball in transition. You got to do it on the defensive end, and then you need some energetic plays that get your team revived to try to fight to get back in this ball game.
Kevin and Sean in studio. Iowa superstar Caitlin Clark moved past Brittany Griner on the all-time scoring list tonight.
Here's my thoughts on defense. So you might want to stay with the best player in college basketball, period. They did not. She's been wide open. She's got 32.
Meantime, closing seconds in the Little Apple in overtime. K-State needs it, and they get it from Arthur Kaluma.
We've seen so many bad mistakes and decisions down the stretch of games. Fouling a three-point shooter, that is up there with the most that we've seen tonight.
K-State knocks off number 9. Back to Boog and Jay Will.
Guys, thanks. Yeah, here at Gallagher-Iba. And it's been all Kansas. They're up by 25 in this one. Cowboys with the basketball. And John Michael Wright handling here. Right, with Adams on him, they get it to Garrison.
There you go. Got to make a move.
Foul on Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah, Mike Boyne all over the ref helmet. He's pushing him off the block. He's pushing him off the block.
Thompson gets a piece of the paint, ball fake, flips it up, and he'll go to the line. You get that foul on KJ Adams.
Talk about Thompson led the Cowboys in scoring in the last 5 of 7 games. So earlier last year had 40 points combined against the Jayhawks. I mean, there's no doubt between him and Small, those are the two guys that just have to be prolific in order for Oklahoma State to win games.
A reminder, Big 12 now on ESPN Plus. It is a must-have for Big 12 fans. Saturday afternoon, 4 men's college basketball matchups. Oklahoma, Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, Kansas, West Virginia, and Oklahoma State, Kansas State. That comes your way at 7 if you're a Big 12 fan. You got to have it. Sign up at ESPNplus.com/Big12 now.
Think about it, you know, between at Stillwater and then at Morgantown, Bill Self 13 and 14 in both Stillwater and Morgantown combined.
By the way, congrats to Bryce Thompson, who has now reached the 1,000-point mark in his college career. Started that career in Lawrence. Garrison.
Got hit on the hand. Should have been a foul.
Thompson inside. No foul called. Now they call it.
You see, I thought it was a foul in the first one. I don't think there was a foul in the second one. I think that is a makeup call. Hunter Dickinson was vertical on the second possession. You see here in the first one, I thought I caught him on the hand right there that stopped the foul through. I thought that was a foul, and then off the drive, he just went straight up vertical.
So the half, Kansas had the lead. Chris Budden visited with Bill Self, who said, you know, we're pretty good offensively in the first half. I mean, you know, coaches rarely are going to be all smiles, but it was pretty clear that he was like, yeah, we can't be a ton better than that offensively in the first half.
Do we think 68% from the field and 57% from the three-point line is good?
Yeah. Here's Harris weaving his way inside, scooped it home.
You know, I keep reading about some of these projections and, you know, where people have Kansas finishing throughout the course of the year. And I know this league is absolutely loaded with the likes of Houston and TCU and some of the other top teams. But I'm telling you right now, Kansas, you can say it's depth, whatever you want to say. They will be there when it's all said and done, my friend. They are an elite team.
McCullers steps in the passing lane, tipped it away, but it's back to Oklahoma State. Jarius Hicklen able to knock that one down.
So, look, think about this for KU. They played number 1 UConn, number 6 Tennessee, number 8 Kentucky, number 15 Oklahoma, number 17 Marquette, and number 19 TCU. And then we'll play number 5 Houston, number 9 Baylor, number 20 BYU, number 24 Iowa State, and then number 25 Texas Tech. I think that's a difficult schedule.
Yeah, no question. Adams had a feed inside as they get Daly on that foul. When we come back, Bill Self with his new look on life. Jay Will got a chance to chat with him.
For certain.
I'm less old school than what I used to be. I think that things that bothered me before I let go now. Let somebody else deal with that stuff. I really feel like I'm more easygoing. I asked the players the other day, I said, you know, have I gotten soft? And DeJuan Harris, yes. I mean, you know, although that's not a compliment towards me, but I do think I just see things differently, and now's the time to see things differently in our profession. You know, because it's not going to go back, toothpaste isn't going back in the tube, and I do think we have to kind of adjust to the new world in college athletics. And I think going through the little bit I went through, I think it made me realize that it's easier to do.
Yeah, not so little bit. Health issues for Bill Self last year that caused him to miss both the Big 12 tournament and then the NCAA tournament, as he had a stent put in to his heart, and glad that he's feeling better. But I thought the comments were pretty interesting. He was quite forthright about the fact that, yeah, perspective changes a bit.
Yeah, it looks like he has a new lease on life, you know, and I think it's easy being around coaches. You get lost in the day-to-day grind of what comes along with the responsibility of pushing your team and staying on top of NIL, staying on top of recruiting, staying on top of raising capital, all the things that go along with being the CEO of a program, and hearing the relaxedness in his voice. Bill has always had an incredible demeanor. Got a chance to do his fantasy camp multiple times. I mean, he is the coach and the person that's together. But listening to him, there's a different lease on life that I think is going to translate towards this second juncture of his career that I'm very excited for him.
Yeah, less old school is what he said with a smile.
I mean, Book, you have to see things differently with, I mean, essentially retention rates aren't high because you have to recruit players on your own team each and every year. And I mean, how many coaches have you and I spoken to about where it's, you see, about to knock down the three, but, you know, players asking for more money with NIL and, you know, the transfer portal, which is like free agency each and every year, and conference realignment. It's challenging.
I'll say this. He might think that he's, you know, no more old school or he's gone soft. I get a chance to listen into his huddles, and when he needs an edge, he can certainly find an edge. It's not completely lost.
Well played, Chris Budden. Well played. Closing it on 6 to go here, second half. And a 19-point Kansas advantage. Johnny Furphy with that brilliant first half.
Hasn't scored in the second half.
They feed into Brown, and then the ball gets knocked away. And the Cowboys a chance to chip away at the deficit. Foul inside, and Williams will go to the line.
It just feels like you're watching a different Oklahoma State team. Everybody's sprinting back on defense. They're communicating, they're rotating, they're using those active hands, they're putting their nose in things, and then on the offensive end, they're playing with the pace.
Deion Williams at the line for Mike Boynton's team and misses the free throw. One of the issues for Oklahoma State this year, they've been a poor free throw shooting team. In fact, as a group, at 66%, and that ranks 321 out of 351.
And in this conference, you need every point you can get.
Shot clock under 10. McCullough looking for space. Pull-up jumper. Got it.
So smooth, man. I mean, the elevation of his game, similar to Jalen Wilson. I mean, just you're watching the progression. He just never seems to rush. You can get in his pocket all you want defensively. He knows how to create space, and he knows how to get his shot off.
the mark. Rebound, Williams. In and out. And that foul ends up being, I believe, on Brown. No, Brown will go down and shoot at the other end.
You know, similar to Bill Self, I mean, Mike Boynton has a similar demeanor. You know, obviously extremely competitive, wants to win at everything they do. But there's also a realist and understands that 9 new faces, you know, only 3 returning players from last year's team, including Bryce Thompson, who was their leading scorer. But it takes a while to get acclimated to the new style in which he wants to play, and also the continuity of playing together for long periods of time.
I think the thing that's hard in today's game of college basketball is, you know, for Mike Boynton, you have a young team, but you touched on it. You know, in most previous years, it's one of those where maybe the young guys will grow and get better, and then as they're experienced, they have a chance to really blossom. You got to re-recruit guys, and so there's no guarantee that the young guys are going to stay.
Well, Boog, the thing is also, you know, when you reload, you don't see teams in today's game reload with young talent. They reload with older talent.
Right.
It's about having impactful players that can help you win now instead of the long term, because a lot of coaches don't know if they can get to the long term.
Kansas by 20. The lob there wouldn't go. All right, I'm not trying to get you in trouble with the Duke faithful.
That's never a great way to kick off a question.
That's right. If the portal was open when you were playing, if there was one place that you could have transferred to, it would have been where?
I will tell you coming back,
yes,
my friend.
That's a guy that's done some radio teasing.
Oh, man.
Connor Dow went down hard. And we will check on him when we come back. All Kansas in this one here in Stillwater. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. A reminder, Sports Center coming up at the conclusion of this game between Kansas and Oklahoma State. John Chumby, Jay Williams courtside. All right, so as we're going to break, I asked if the transfer portal was open. Where would you have gone?
Setting me up. So back then, I would have gone to Georgetown.
Okay.
I would have played for John Thompson. If you're asking me today.
Yes.
I know. This is a tough one because I don't know if I would be allowed to go back home.
Are you about to say North Carolina?
I just like the way they play.
Wow.
It's a fast-paced style of play. I like it. They allow R.J. Davis to go.
Holy cow.
What? What? You did this to me. This is your fault.
This is straight up awful announcing. John Chumby got Jay Williams excommunicated from the Duke family on Tuesday night.
You know, I just got back in the brotherhood. I just got back, and now I have a feeling I'm going to be out.
Well, drive safe, Jay.
Now, I don't know if any school has NIL big enough for me. Let's just start there, okay?
Wow.
I'm sweating on camera. This is not okay. How about I change it to Tom Izzo?
I mean, Gonzaga, you could have gone out to Spokane.
I'm not a Northwest guy. I like the Northwest, just, not in college.
I mean, my other...
Have you ever been to Chapel Hill?
I love
We
Chapel
had dinner at Chapel Hill.
And here's the other,
nothing wrong with it.
Hubert Davis is my guy.
Yeah, he's my guy, too.
I worked with him a ton.
All right.
Love him.
Well, there goes that. There goes my career.
I'm just saying, there was nothing that said you had to give a truthful answer.
Well, you're my guy. How am I going? I can't lie to you. Oh, good pass.
Great look, McCullough, and one.
And one.
Kevin McCullough plus tax to the line.
Just a clinic. Give it up early. Great job by Timberlake. And then Harris, once again, one of his assists in this ball game with McCullough finishing strong. I mean, Bill Self is another best coach in the game. Another guy who would love to play for, just with the freedom he allows his guards to have over the time. I mean, you're watching DeJuan Harris, a lot of times when you're a younger player, you see younger players always looking over at the bench, trying to stay lock and step with the coach. But DeJuan Harris knows what to run, when to run it. Doesn't need to look at Bill Self for confirmation.
Well, we talked with Mike Boynton pregame, and one of the things he said, you basically have Bill Self on the court in DeJuan Harris. That's what Mike Boynton described DeJuan Harris as. Bill Self on the court.
And Boog, a lot of people look over this kind of stuff. I mean, look, my freshman year, I was so anxious because you're not only recognizing time and situation, you're not only recognizing how many timeouts you have, what sets you're in, what scouting report says. You're also commanding your players on where they need to be, and you're also aware and assessing, has Kevin McCullough gotten the touch in the last 3 or 4 possessions? Hunter Dickinson, National Player of the Year, I need to get him, let me call a set for him. KJ Adams, I need to get him more involved, engaged defensively. You're leading men. You're leading grown men, and you're in tune with every aspect of the game. That's not easy. That's learned behavior over time. Similar to you being a host of me, there's a lot of things you have to manage.
Timberlake pushes up ahead. Wow. Jackson got hit. Thompson pushes up ahead. And it goes down hard.
Bill, Harris got to get a hold of this game.
Yeah, Bill Self's a little frustrated just because Marco Jackson got hit pretty hard down at the other end.
He got slapped, and then on this end, you saw him with the body there with Timberlake, and just a really hard fall. Gotta make sure this game doesn't get out of hand with 2:26 left. And Bill is yelling, finish the game, and he's absolutely right.
Bryce Thompson, his dad Rod actually played for Bill Self at Tulsa in the 90s.
Here's what you love about Bill. I mean, from a guy who played here, he's yelling at the refs, while at the same time, he's having cordial conversation with Oklahoma State fans behind him.
Bryce Thompson, a season-high 20. Now Kansas able to take it to Oklahoma State right from the jump. As Jankovic misses from deep.
Kansas winning this game here. A big-time win on the road. Any win on the road is a big one in the Big 12. And now following that up and going to Morgantown, West Virginia to take on the Mountaineers. Back-to-back road games. Life does not get easy in the Big 12.
Brown almost with the thunderous throwdown out of bounds. And it'll be Oklahoma State basketball with 95 seconds to go in this one.
So I asked you before the game started, what was your opinion of KU? Has your opinion changed since watching the way Furphy has knocked down threes and it seems like they got a little bit more from their depth?
Probably has a bit.
How so?
I mean, I think that we saw offensively, this is, I mean, the high side of what they're capable of. I certainly hear you in terms of, you know, your point as far as depth. It is something that we overstate. I do think that you don't need 8 or 9 guys. The only thing about the depth that is problematic is if any of the four get injured
or foul trouble.
But foul trouble's one game. Like if any of the four were to get injured, then there's a problem.
Yeah. And also, who can make a play? And Kevin McCullough could do this, but when the defense actually contains and they force you to settle from the outside, who has the ability to make plays off the dribble? DeJuan Harris can do that in the ball screen, but when you need a bucket, can McCullough be that guy to get you to that ultimate level of the Final Four, a national championship game? I think he can.
Yeah.
I believe that they have the talent and that they have everything they need in order to get to a championship game. Now, with so many teams losing to unranked opponents, I mean, this year, good luck with your bracket this year. This whole thing is going to be off the charts.
Less than 1 minute remaining.
Right hesitation inside, loose ball out of bounds, and it'll be Kansas basketball.
That's where you want your young fella Brandon Garrison to be as aggressive as possible. You just get up shots and showcase that skill set.
What'd you think of what you saw from him?
I like him a lot. Obviously, I think there's room for improvement. And that's going to come with time and the more feel he gets for the game of basketball. But, I mean, he has all the physical tools to be a special player at a very high level.
Jankovic able to knock down the three for Kansas. 27.9 to go.
Where are you off to next, Boog, after this game?
Next week, Cincinnati at Kansas. So it'll be at Allen Fieldhouse on Monday.
Kansas back-to-back games.
How about you?
I got to go spar with my guy Seth Greenberg in studio, College Game Day and halftime. I'm starting to hydrate now for that one.
It's good to have you, brother.
It's good to be back, Boog. I mean, we go back 18 years ago.
I know it.
It's good to run it back, man. I look forward to doing more with you, brother.
Same. Kansas, an impressive win, wire to wire. And the Jayhawks go on the road and win it 90-66 here in Stillwater. Up next, it is SportsCenter. For Chris Budd, Jay Williams, and our entire outstanding